right, everybody, welcome to this special Sunday night edition of One Nation, a Sports Soccer Magazine Extra. I'm your host, Kirk DeMars, and before we even get started, I just want to say forgive me if I do any coughing. That's why we were not able to do last week because I was sick, but thank goodness Avery was patient with me and she said that she would go ahead and come on tonight. So we're doing it tonight because tomorrow night she has senior night, and that's important, and hopefully she will enjoy that time of being celebrated as a senior at Blair Oaks High School. All right, as I stated, we have on the program tonight Avery Schoenberg, and she's the Blair Oaks Falcons. You can look through those awesome pictures there. She is quite busy, and that's not all of it. She does dance too, so we'll get into that a little bit more. But if you haven't read our article, make sure that you check that out. The printed copies, you can find them at Downtown Book and Toy and Hy-Vee in Jefferson City. You can also find them at Cal's Thriftway in California and C&R Market in Fulton. And if you just want to check it out digital, go to sportslockermagazine.com and you'll be able to read Avery's article as well as a bunch of others that are in there. Great reading, great photos, and just a great story. Great young lady. I'm using the word great a lot because that's what this is going to be. It's going to be a great interview. So with that, let's go ahead and bring Avery on. Hey Avery, how you doing?
Hey, good. How are you?
I am good. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you've had to make time out of a busy schedule, and from what you were telling me earlier, you were doing dance. How long today?
9 to 5.
9 to 5. Man,
Yep.
when do you take off?
I don't take time
Okay,
off.
I get that.
I
I get
like this week we had dance today, and then I have 3 basketball games this week and dance on Saturday and Sunday this coming weekend. So I really just go, go, go. I enjoy
Yes,
it.
you do. My goodness. And tomorrow night is senior night. Why don't you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, very exciting night, senior night. My parents get to walk me, and everyone gets to hear about all your accomplishments. And yeah, it's fun. Last time I'm going to be recognized as a Blair Oaks cheerleader because we had football senior night and then we have
Uh-huh.
basketball senior night.
Yeah.
So,
Well, very good. Excited for you. I know that that'll be a special night, especially with your parents, so that'll be great.
yeah.
All right. Well, let's talk about your article in Sports Locker Magazine. What did that mean to you? And did you get sign-in autographs, all that kind of stuff? Anybody?
It meant a lot to me that one, I was chosen by my school and my administration to represent our school as a student athlete. I was the first cheerleader that has ever been published in the Sports Locker magazine by Blair Oaks High School. So it meant a lot to me, and the article was amazing and the photography was amazing. So it was extremely nice. And it also meant a lot to me because my sister, her senior year, was published in the Sports Locker. So it was a pretty cool experience to get to follow in her footsteps.
Yeah. You gonna try to find any bragging rights or anything like that?
Gonna try.
Okay. All right. Good. What did you enjoy about the photo shoot? Because as we saw from your article, you had a different change of clothes where we did cheerleading and then we went out to the track. Talk about the photo experience, and did you have fun? Was Jay too crazy? Talk about that a little bit.
I had a great time. They were amazing to work with. Katie took great photos, and I also am in the yearbook at school, so I do photography as well. And just looking at the pictures, I'm like, wow, she's amazing. The lighting is great, and when we did the little outfit change and the scenery change, she just worked with me and made things so easy.
Oh, good. And on top of that, she spells her name the same way as your sister does. We found that out, didn't we?
It's exactly the same.
Yeah, that's awesome. Um, so, share with us a little bit about the title of your article, Born to Fly, and how that represents you, and just a degree of excellence that you try to achieve.
I truly feel like I was born to fly around the track and in the air. And so and in school. So the title was amazing. Props to the writer, but it's just my main goal is to be a student athlete. I like school comes first, so it's great to be able to excel in school while also excelling in my extracurricular activities because school is my future. So, yeah.
Yeah. Are you involved in some other extracurricular activities outside of track and cheer and dance? What other things are you involved in?
I am in National Honor Society and Operation Bugle Boy, which is like a volunteer club where we volunteer and serve our first responders and veterans and active military people in Jefferson City. And then I am in yearbook. I'm the editor in chief of the yearbook. So
Yeah. You, I don't even. I mean, I think I'm busy, but I'm talking to you. I've got to step my game up or something. I don't know. I don't. I've got too much time in the day.
sometimes I'm like, I might be too busy, but I love it.
Yeah.
Don't think I would enjoy my life if I wasn't as busy as I was.
Oh, good. You do an outstanding job at everything you do. So, speaking of that, you started dance when you were 6 years old, and you're still doing that today. Talk about that, the accomplishments, the awards, things like that that you've had through dance.
So it's been great to grow as a dancer over my whole life. Like, I used to be so scared of taking the stage, and now I love taking the stage. And that's what dancing is what led me to cheer because I love to perform in front of people. And dancing has given me amazing relationships. I have the best coaches and teachers, and I have amazing friendships. That's basically a sisterhood at dance. So I am a two-time national champion in dance, and we compete 3 times a year at a regional competition. So we win a lot of like Studio of Excellence awards because we just kind of stand on being sportsmanlike even if you don't perform your best. And so that has taught me a lot of life lessons that I can take other places, not just on the stage or in front of a crowd at a game. So yeah, dance has taught me a lot of life lessons and brought me amazing people. It's been great. I'm sad that that door has to close.
Yeah, yeah. Wow.
It's
Two-time
dancing is
national
my
champ.
life.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, you've been doing it a long time. It's
Hmm.
part of who you are and part of helping you to do some of the other things that you do. Talk about that real quick as far as some of the conditioning that you have in dance and how has that helped you in cheer and as well as in track.
Dance is go, go, go. Like when I go on stage and perform a solo, it is 2 to 3 minutes of me just dancing. There's nothing that everyone's got their eyes on you, no one else. So you have to give it your all. And a lot of the dances are fast. I'm I'm a strong tap dancer. So that gives me a lot of leg muscles that makes like running the 400 maybe a tad bit easier. And I have a little up on people that haven't danced. But yeah, it's like our production this year, which is the dance that has just every single girl in the studio, is like 7 minutes long. So it's
Wow.
7 minutes of dancing, and it's quick music, so it really builds up your stamina.
Yeah, you were talking about tap dance, and I was thinking for just a minute, I thought, oh, she would be good at river dance, you know, something like that.
Sometimes I do it as a joke. I like
Yeah.
to river dance around the studio,
Uh huh.
but
Yeah.
maybe I can do it after I retire from competitive dancing. I can go be a
That's
river dancer.
that's right. You can do that, but education first. I know you're going to do that first, so yeah,
Yes.
you do that. Um, I wanted to say real quick, different people that are watching on here, thank you guys for joining us, and just make sure that if you have any comments or about Avery that you want to share, feel free to put those in the comment section. We'll try to include those in the program. And if you have questions and they're not too hard, I might go ahead and ask her those questions as well. So um, we're having a good time here, and we're going to get into some more details about cheer now. Why don't you talk a little bit about how cheer has been rewarding to you, Avery?
So, once again, cheer has brought me amazing people and taught me amazing life lessons. because in 7th grade I was just like, well, what am I gonna do? I'm a dancer and that's what I'm good at, but we don't have competitive dance at the school. So I chose the cheer route and I instantly fell in love with flying in the air and leading the crowd in a positive energy and manner, because when you're cheering, the games might not always be going how they're planned, but it's always important that the crowd is still cheering for the team in a positive manner. So that is something that I love to do. And then I did that through 7th and 8th grade. COVID kind of affected that, but that's okay because I still got all 4 years of my high school experience. So freshman year, I tried out and I made the varsity squad. I was one of 3 freshmen that made the varsity squad, which was just an honor. And I was so excited and I learned a lot. I thought I was good at cheer in middle school. And then I came to high school and I was like, wow, this is a different playing field here. So I learned a lot. I actually learned how to truly fly in the air and get thrown. And so it's been great. I have 3 amazing coaches who are able to work with my crazy schedule and do it with a smile on their face, which I love. And it's just also brought me amazing people that I will cherish for a lifetime.
Yeah. Talk about that. I mean, you're literally being thrown in the air. How talk about that whole thing? You said it's an adrenaline rush. Describe it. How high do you go? How do you practice that? Have you had any mishaps? Stuff like that.
So basically, I don't really know how high I get thrown in the air. Maybe like 10 feet, maybe, especially when we're doing like baskets, but it's just like, I don't know, freeing maybe. I struggle to explain the adrenaline rush that it brings me. And I told Kirk earlier, it's kind of like a runner's high, but for cheerleaders, it just is amazing. And we practice by just throwing me in the air, and reps and reps and reps get you to go higher in the air. And I mean, they're not even always throwing you. You're sometimes just standing on their hands, which
Mm-hmm.
is not as dangerous. And sadly, I have had a few mishaps. My freshman year, started dislocating ribs left and right because
Oh.
like the catch gets very over and over. It's hard on your body,
Mm-hmm.
especially when they throw baskets that end up pretty high in the air. So I started dislocating ribs, and then I think it was my freshman year spring. I was doing some off-season training, and I fell and hit my head. And I got my first concussion, and so I had to recover from that. That sucked, not getting to cheer. I also missed a few weeks of track because I was recovering from a concussion, so
Mm-hmm.
that sucked. And then I had one other concussion that was a little less extreme because I didn't fall from as high up in the air. When my
Mm-hmm.
first concussion, I basically just tumbled when their hands were extended in the air and my head went straight to the floor.
Oh.
But it taught me a life lesson that is great. And I mean, I recovered and I still got better even when I hit my head and was recovering. And then another mishap that I had was just little stuff when we're just practicing and trying to figure out how to do stuff, and you
Mm-hmm.
sometimes just get a little close to the floor. You might not always hit the floor, but you get a few centimeters off the floor. So
Wow. Well, that's not for the faint at heart. That's for sure. Um, Man, talk about hitting your head. That's not cool. You've had as far, like you said, as far as your ribs and stuff like that. Has that gotten better?
yeah, I did physical therapy for a long time, and I think my ribs finally learned how to find their way back into place. I think it all has to do with my scoliosis. I'm not a doctor, but I think it all has to do with scoliosis, and things in your back are just thrown off, and the constant hitting just messed with the ribs and the muscles.
Yeah. So talk about the scoliosis. When did you find out about that? And I mean, my goodness, look at you. Look at all the things that you're able to do and um, just overcome that. Go ahead and talk about that a little bit.
So I think it was probably 6th or 7th grade when I was diagnosed with scoliosis. I think we kind of, once again, I followed in my sister's footsteps. She had scoliosis and I had it too. I don't have an extreme curve, like I didn't have to be put in a brace or anything, but it's about a 12 to 13 degree curve that just right in my mid back. just
Mhm.
goes. And so I've just kind of learned to deal with it. It doesn't affect the way I stand that I notice. It kind of affects my shoulder height a little bit, but
Mhm.
that's all. So it's just been the like pain. It is a little pain, the ribs. It causes pain on the ribs, but the physical therapy, going to chiropractors, stem
Mhm.
therapy, I've tried just about everything. And I think I've just discovered that letting my body heal itself and run its course on
Mhm.
getting my ribs back into place is just what works the best. And heat
And
works
heat,
too very
lots of
well.
heat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, Talk about some of the awards that you've had in cheer that you've received there. What have they meant to you?
So I am a three-time UCA All-American, which is like basically we go to a cheer camp over the summer for 4 days, and the staff members watch you, and then you try out doing cheer jumps and a dance, which is what I'm best at because I have years and years of dance training. So you do that and then you earn the All American title. It's the top, I think, 15 to 20 girls on the scoring sheet. So they score you on your jumps and your cheer, basically your energy and how loud you are and how sharp you are. And they do that with the dance as well. So I earned that three times my freshman, sophomore, and junior year. But this year, our team sadly was not able to go to UCA. So I was not able to become a four-time All American. I didn't even have the opportunity to do that. But
Mhm.
it's okay because I am also a two-time All-State flyer, which basically you send in a video to all the Missouri cheerleading coaches that are in the Cheerleading Coaches Association, and they watch you fly and they judge and they vote for so many All-American or All-State
Mhm.
flyers, and I was able to earn that 2 years.
Very good. Congratulations. Outstanding.
Thank you.
Speaking of outstanding, let's talk about your parents and how supportive have they been for you. Tell us what they mean to you.
My parents mean everything to me. They have taught me all my life lessons. I get my hard work and dedication and all my extracurricular activities from my parents. I mean, many years ago, they told me that I had to do one activity, and I took that very literally and said, let me see how many I can do. So they just have taught me everything. They're at every game that they have the opportunity to be at. They never miss one. If they have the choice, they are at every track meet and they drive no matter how far. And they drive me to dance competitions and stay in hotel rooms for entire weekends. So they are just constantly supporting me and constantly teaching me life lessons and teaching me how, even when things get hard, even when I got a concussion, that I was growing as a person and becoming a better athlete and a better person in my life. And they just help bring light to low situations in my life, but they are just great.
How have they helped shape your character as a student athlete?
Well, once again, they told me that I had to do one activity, and I took that very literally and was just like, how many can I actually do? And they constantly encourage me. So that's kind of how they have built my personality as an athlete. And they have taught me that even when things don't go your way, or even when you don't get something that you want, you still need to be a good leader. And it's just shaped me as an athlete and how I am the cheer captain this year. Everybody makes mistakes and they deserve to be heard and seen. And they have just taught me that and to always have a positive mindset. And so that has helped shape my character in my
That's
athletics.
that's awesome. That's wonderful. Why don't you talk about siblings? You had mentioned Katie in the article about being your best friend and rival all in one. Tell us a little bit about that.
So, yes, I have one older sister who runs at Truman State University, runs track and cross country there. And from a very young age, I have been told that I looked up to Katie. I wanted to dance because Katie danced. And then when it came time for me to decide if I wanted to do track, I decided I'll try track because Katie does track. But then once it came to it, I was like, I don't want to run all that long distance like Katie runs. She in high school ran the 800 and the mile and the 2 mile. And I was just like, I don't want to go around the track 2 to 8 times. I like 1 lap. And that's as far as I will go. So that's how Katie and I are different, but I have always looked up to her, and she has been a great person to look up to. But we are sisters, so we butt heads
Uh-huh.
often. So that's how kind of she's become my rival. And apparently, we like to talk about who's faster. So apparently, this Easter, we are going to race because we have never run against each other. We're going to race a 600 and see who
Okay.
wins. That's
Okay.
kind of the in the middle. I don't like to go over 1 lap around the track, but I guess I can go an extra 200.
Yeah. Okay. That almost needs to be, make sure that they film it, okay?
I'm not so sure I want to do it just yet, but we'll see what happens.
Well, I will be interested to hear what happens, so very good. Well, you've done an outstanding job so far. We're at our sponsor break, so
Okay.
we'll give you just a little bit to take a quick break, get a drink of water, and then we'll be back for the second half. I did want to encourage anybody that's watching. Again, if you have any comments, make sure that you put them in the comment section. Nice things that you want to say about Avery, and we've been having a great time, and we'll get back to the rest of this interview after this quick sponsor break.
CNS Business Services has been connecting employees with employers since 1977. Recently, CNS rebranded to CNS Employment Solutions to more clearly define their mission of serving the needs of applicants, employees, and businesses while remaining current and evolving with the changes in the workforce. One important thing has not changed. CNS Employment Solutions partners with a wide variety of employers, placing employees in jobs that match their skills and needs.
Say yes to CNS.
CNS Employment Solutions, they do an outstanding job right here in mid-Missouri. They are very busy, just kind of like Avery is, just busy all of the time, but they are very busy as far as making sure that people that need jobs find them, and employers that are looking for people to fill those jobs get those positions filled. We thank Paula and her team at CNS Employment Solutions for their sponsorship of this program, as well as Sports Locker Magazine. Also, we have another sponsor for our Coach of the Issue, and Big Whiskeys is the sponsor for that, and it's recognizing our Mid-Missouri coaches. And in this January-February issue, we have Coach Caitlin Collins from Capital City High School, and we just appreciate them sponsoring and helping us to be able to recognize the hard work that our coaches put in all throughout Mid-Missouri. And we're going to ask Avery here in a little bit to share with us about her coaches. And we have Beth Schoenberg has popped on here and said, "Hi Avery, we're watching, great job." So thank you, Beth. We appreciate you joining in with that, and I know that Avery appreciates that as well. I'm going to run a quick Sports Locker commercial, very quick, so we'll do that, and then we'll get back to talking with Avery here right after this.
In this issue of Sports Locker Magazine, check out the stories of these student athletes and so many more. You can find printed copies at these great supporters and online at sportslockermagazine.com. And don't forget, on Monday nights, watch One Nation and SLM Extra on Facebook and YouTube.
All right. Well, Avery, we're back. You didn't just hang up and leave me, so thank you for staying.
No.
So I think you probably heard me that Beth came on and said hello, and that they're watching, and that you're doing a great job. So
Yes, I also have very supportive grandparents. That would be my Meemaw is what I call her. She's my dad's mom.
Okay.
And I mean, my grandparents also don't miss any of my activities if they have the chance. My Meemaw, my Beth, has a lot of grandchildren, and her and my papa always find time to come watch us, and same with my grandma and grandpa. They wouldn't miss me performing or me running or cheering in front of a crowd for the world.
That is great. It's good to have that support system. Also, we've got Judy Scott popping on here real quick.
That's my grandma.
All right. Miss Grandma says, "Avery, you're doing great. So poised and great answers. We're watching and so proud of our granddaughter, Avery Schoenberg." So, all right. Well, thank you, Grandma. And and you said Meemaw,
You
right?
guys are great. Yes.
All right. You've done an outstanding job, and we transition usually from coach of the issue to talk about your coaches and how have they helped to develop you and challenge you to be a better student athlete.
So I have a lot of coaches.
You name off as many as you want.
I'll start with my cheer coaches.
Okay.
I have 3 of them, and they are all great. They work around my busy schedule, no matter what it takes, and that is just amazing. But I have so many people in my life that have taught me so many life lessons. Coach Lackman and Coach Matt and Mariah they teach me so many lessons, and they have shaped me into the cheerleader that I am. Coach Lackman is very strict on some things, and that is something that you carry into your outside life. I'm going to grow up and have a strict boss possibly. So that's like what my parents always tell me is this is preparing you for the real world and preparing you for life. But Coach Matt and Mariah and Coach Lackman have shaped an amazing cheer team who we placed second and third at state the past 2 years. And it's just amazing. They are just amazing. And then I have my track coaches. I have Coach H and Coach Holtmeyer, and they deal with me. I'm crazy during track season because, as I have told you, the runner's high is just something that you can not explain. It is amazing. So they have helped me through injury. Coach Holtmeyer watches all these videos and knows how to help us deal with our injuries and our shin splints that come through the year. So they are great. And even though Coach H gives us some hard workouts, she shapes us into the runners that we are. And then I have Coach Keys, who is more of the distance coach, but he also helps with like the 4x4, and he breaks down our splits and stuff like that. So he has been great to work with. Then lastly, I have my dance coaches. There is a lot of them, but Jacqueline, who owns the studio, has just been great. I've known her since I was 6 and started dancing, and she's just watched me and helped me grow into the person and dancer that I am today. And she is also hard on us, but it makes us the athletes that we are, who have the stamina that we have and are able to go out and on stage and perform amazing routines. So I have very great coaches in my life.
You do, my goodness. And so what would you say that you appreciate about the time and effort that all of them put in so that you can do the things that you're able to do?
It truly makes me feel loved as an athlete, and like they care about me and they care about my progression and how I'm going to get better and stuff like that. Like Jacqueline was at the studio with us from 9 to 5 today and cleaning our routines and making sure that we were prepared for our competitions that are coming up within the month. And Coach Lackman has taken time out of her time with family to come spot me and watch me stunt with people that I like, Mizzou cheerleaders that I have worked with before, which is actually Blake Conrad. I know that his younger brother was in the sports locker. He's also a great guy, but like Coach Lackman just takes time out of her day to help shape me into the athlete that I am and that I want to be going into college. So it truly makes me feel like they care about me as an athlete and care about me getting better.
It's good. It's good to have people that are supportive like that and helping you to be the best that you can be, and again challenging you as well. So that's important. All right, so I've got a friend of mine who's watching tonight too, and he said, "Wow, a very busy young lady. You aren't kidding, Rich."
Yes.
She absolutely is. Why don't you go ahead and talk about busy, because you're getting ready to get going in 2 weeks, I think you said, for track. Why don't you tell us about the events that you compete in and what have been the highlights so far?
So I compete in the 100 hurdles, the 300 hurdles, and then I rotate through relays, the 4x1, the 4x2, and the 4x4. So I love running relays. I think it's great to work as a team and work on your handoffs and stuff like that. I just think it's fun. And the 4x4 is a different experience. It's the end of the meet. Everyone's excited to watch it. Everyone's cheering for you. The whole track team, the whole boys and girls track team is able to gather on the field, and like gather around the track and cheer you on at every point, because on that back 100 and that last little curve, it can get tiring, and just having people that are there cheering you on is just an indescribable feeling. But I also love running the hurdles because I've been leaping since I was 6 years old. You're not supposed to leap over hurdles, but it gave me a basis. So I was able to learn. And it's something that I can always get better at, and I can always challenge myself. Like this past year, I was finally able to get the 3-step in the 100 hurdles. I'm not the tallest gal, so the 3-step is not the easiest, but being able to get it was an amazing accomplishment. And then in the 300 hurdles, I've been to state, and it's also just an indescribable feeling, running the 300 hurdles, because a 300 alone is tiring,
Yeah.
just like a 400, but adding hurdles in just makes it a whole new experience that I love.
Yeah, that's great. Um, Melanie Morton Porter has joined us tonight. Melanie is a friend of the program. We've had her. Several of her daughters have been in the several of her kids have been in the magazine over the years from California, and she says, "Congrats on your achievements, Avery. You may not know me, but I know your mom, and have followed you and your sister's athletic careers through the years. So, thank you,
I have
Melanie."
a lot of Facebook supporters. I will say
Yes.
that. A lot of people on Facebook, like my mom posts about my sister and I, and everyone, even if I don't know, I do know Melanie. But
Yeah.
even
Good.
if I don't know everyone, people that my mom graduated high school with, because she went to California, the rival
Okay.
school, Blair Oaks, we don't like
Uh huh.
that.
Yeah. Sorry,
They
Melanie. Close your ears. Melanie, close your ears.
I'm not a Pinto fan, I'm sorry. They have just, like, everyone is so supportive of me and everything I do. So it's great to have so many people supporting me, even if they don't know me personally.
Yeah. Well, good. Thank you, Melanie, for sharing that, and thank you for, I guess, shouting out the Pintos. I don't know. I don't know what. Talk about your senior season in track, and what are you looking forward to?
I am looking forward to just going to practice and getting better every day, even if it is not fun or it's a hard workout or I'm in pain, have shin splints. It's just amazing to go from the start of the year to the end of the year. We do time trials at the start of the year and the end of the year to see how much faster you get. And this past year, we've started doing other like benchmark things. So, like, how far you can jump, how fast you can run a 50-yard dash, stuff like that. So it's just amazing to get to go to practice every day and hang out with my amazing teammates and my amazing coaches. Can you still hear me?
Yeah. Yep. Yes.
Okay.
Can you,
And hang out with my amazing coaches and just get better every day.
yeah. Well, you mentioned your teammates. Why don't you talk about them through track and cheer, and what have you appreciated about them, and just what have you enjoyed about your time with them?
The constant support is something that I can just not explain. It's great to be an athlete and know you have so many fellow athletes, whether you're competing with them or competing against them, just supporting you and building friendships outside of practice and track meets and competitions. Like knowing I have friends and family, as I would call them, to fall back on and talk to about my hardships when it comes to athletics or my hardships in life. And it's just great to have so many people in your corner, especially when you're running the 4x4. You have so many people that gather around the track to support you. So it's great.
Yeah, that's an electric race. That's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Uh, Tell us a little bit about your academics, because you take great pride in that, and maintaining a great grade point average, as well as getting yourself prepared for high school. But how, why are academics so important to you, and how have they helped you to be a leader in the classroom?
I am a slight perfectionist in the classroom. Anything short of an A is not good enough. And that's just who I was raised to be. I have two very smart parents and a very smart sister. And I think my goal is to just step up and be like them and be able to help my fellow students in the classroom if I need to. I just find it amazing when I understand stuff and am able to help others when they're not understanding it. So I just feel like that's an amazing trait to be able to have. And once again, I'm a perfectionist when it comes to my GPA and my ACT. I worked very hard on getting up to a 31. I did tutoring because test taking did not come easy to me, but I really wanted to get a high ACT score and possibly be able to get Bright Flight because I plan to go to the University of Missouri and I want to be an anesthesiologist. And I know that I have a lot of work ahead of me to become that. And so just starting in high school and working hard, even when I wake up and I'm tired because we had a track meet the night before, it's just, I'm a student athlete, not an athlete student. So it's just the thing that I take great pride in. And then being in NHS, I'm held to those standards. And same with being able to be on the cheer and the track team, you have to keep good grades. So I just find it important that I keep my grades high.
Well, very good. You did very well. You transitioned right into talking about the University of Missouri, and I know you said your sister was trying to talk you into doing something different, but you chose to go there, and looks like you've got a great and rewarding career ahead of you that you're wanting to study for and to get into. So that is very important. So what have you enjoyed about your teachers and administrators at Blair Oaks? How have they impacted you?
They are all amazing. There's this little Wardsville bubble, just like there's a little California bubble for the Pintos, but the Wardsville bubble is just special. My principal and my assistant principal and the secretaries and the counselors know they know everyone's names and they know what I participate in. So they are just great. And my teachers have taught me amazing life lessons, but also amazing book problems that I need to deal with. Like school, I understand school so well because I have such amazing teachers that will come sit by me if I'm not understanding something or stay after school with me if I'm not understanding. Coach Lackman is my teacher as well, my calculus teacher, and on Friday she stayed after school and helped me to make it through our assignment and study for a test that we had coming up because I wasn't understanding it, but it was important to me that I did understand it. And just like the administration, our athletic director is great, and him and the counselors chose me for this and chose me as the first cheerleader to be published, which is such an honor, and I'm just so ecstatic that they chose me.
Yeah, well, they do a great job in picking student athletes to represent the school, and they were definitely, I mean, they take it seriously on who they choose, and we are just, I guess you would say, humbled and honored to be able to tell your story, and on top of getting a little bit extra tonight. This has been fun. Yeah, and you've flown through it. We are actually done with all the questions, but now we get to have a couple of fun questions that we get to ask.
Oh, yeah.
And so, I mean, these are the important things, okay? So what is your favorite go-to snack after a track meet or after a game or something like that?
I would say I'll go for before. Like during a track meet, I love like cuties and trail mix. I try to keep it light because track meets can be very hard on the stomach. And then after, I go for a cheeseburger and fries.
Okay.
I want the grease. I'm hungry. I just ran off all these calories, so I go for a pretty heavy meal after. And
is there
same
a
with cheer.
Favorite place that you go do that?
I hate to say it, McDonald's.
Okay. All right.
It's a great post-track meet snack, I promise.
Oh, good. Well, what is your favorite ice cream?
My favorite ice cream? Probably vanilla. But when I eat vanilla ice cream, I add chocolate syrup. But I don't like chocolate ice cream the way I like vanilla ice cream with chocolate syrup.
Okay.
But I also am I'm a big Ben & Jerry's fan. So I like their ice cream that has like brownies in it.
Okay.
I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of ice cream.
Good. Excuse me, sorry about that. So, I think a lot of people are big fans of ice cream, but If there was anywhere in the world you could go, where would that be and why?
I think I would go to either Europe or Hawaii. And Hawaii sounds like a blast. I love the beach, but Hawaii is just a different experience. It's a beautiful island, and it's just a great place. Everyone I hear is so kind there, and there's just so much nature that Hawaii has to explore. Over the summer, I was blessed to go to Costa Rica,
Okay.
and just seeing the rainforest and stuff like that. It's just, the earth is amazing to me.
Yeah. So we have a friend that lives in Kona, Hawaii, and says that the coffee is amazing. As a matter of fact, when he comes back to the States, he has to bring his coffee with him. So,
I have heard the same thing.
yeah.
My
So-
parents went to Hawaii a few years ago, which is what I was very jealous, and has made me want to go to Hawaii more because they tell me amazing stories about Hawaii. But they talked about the coffee, which it was the same with Costa Rica. The coffee there was amazing. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah. Well, here comes the final and most important, and probably the question that's going to tell us a lot about everything, okay? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. What is your least favorite chore to do around the house and why?
I really don't like the dishes. Unloading the dishwasher, loading the dishwasher, or hand washing. I just don't find joy in it. I just don't.
Just
There's
in general.
like, when you're like mopping, you can see like the floor get clean, but I just don't enjoy the dishes, and it's never ending. I mean, I know mopping is never ending, but the dishes always need done, it seems like.
So you're not volunteering around Thanksgiving or around Easter for, doing the dishes at the meal, huh?
Not volunteering, really.
Okay.
But luckily, I'm not around the house much because I live such a busy life, so I don't have to do the dishes that often.
Okay. Well, Mom, I tried. I'm just saying. We tried to get it out there. Well, Avery, you've done an outstanding job, and I don't want to keep you anymore because you've had a long day already, and I know you've got to get ready for school tomorrow. Thank you for taking your time tonight. I'm going to have you hold on just right after I close out the program, but just want to give you one more opportunity. Any additional shout-outs or anything that you want to say before we close out?
I mean, I just appreciate my friends and family who are on here watching me and supporting me. Like I said, I have a great support system, and everyone is taking the time out of their Sunday night, if I know you or if I don't, to watch me and learn about my story. So I appreciate you guys staying and watching on this fine Sunday night.
Yep. And your mom, jumped in here and says at least she was honest about how often she has to do the dishes. So
I mean, I'm just go, go, go. I don't have time.
yeah, that's a great excuse.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to think about if I can come up with that for something for myself. I don't know. All right.
I mean, maybe when they told me I had to participate in one thing, they weren't envisioning that I would go crazy, so they thought I'd still be home to do the dishes, but I'm not.
That's great. Well, Avery, if you'll hold on, I'll close out the program and visit with you right afterwards. But thank you again so much. Outstanding job, and really enjoyed having you on here tonight.
I had a blast. Thank you.
All right, good. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us tonight as had an interview with Avery Schoenberg of Blair Oaks High School. And Carrie, yes, really enjoyed having her on here tonight. You guys have done an outstanding job with your kids, and have really enjoyed getting to know her as well as being able to tell her story. Guys, thanks for joining us. Thanks for putting up with me and trying not to cough throughout the night. And joining us on a special edition of One Nation of Sports Locker Magazine Extra on Sunday night. We'll be back next Monday for our next program. We'll have another student athlete on here to be able to talk with and share their story. So thank you. As always, we appreciate you joining us, and share this program with your friends and family so that everybody else can hear Avery's story as well. All right, I am your host, Kirk DeMars. This is One Nation of Sports Locker Magazine Extra. I will see you next week. God bless you, and we'll see you then.